So here's the reality. I had an ember, but a drop of sweat fell on the socket right at the last second and put it out for me. I'm actually smashing pieces of acorn into my bearing block. Oh, that was cute. To kind of help lubricate my bearing block a little bit. And it's not raining out here, that's sweat you see. Alright, I've got a lot of dust. Did we get an ember? Nope, she went out. We're pretty close that time. Can't quit now. There she is, ladies and gentlemen. Bowdrill ember from pine and oak. Two very unlikely candidates. And not just pine and oak, but pine and oak after about a week's worth of rain. Yeah, this is so easy to do in the desert, but not so much here in the swamps of the south. All right. Just spilled alcohol all over the place. I'm okay with that though. See if we can get you a little better view here. There it is. Let's touch off my little stove here. Might be sacrilegious to some folks to light a trangia off of a Bowdrill fire, but we got it done, didn't we? We got it done. Nice. We'll just let that smolder right there. So, sorry I didn't get that on video, but I lit the trangia stove from the grass tinder right there. See if I can dig some of these pieces of grass out of here. I have to clean that later. All right. Okay. Trangia is getting lit. Okay, I'll let that heat up and I'll get back to you when we start cooking some oatmeal. All right, what can you see? Okay, you got it. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this oatmeal in here. Try to keep all my garbage in one place so I can take it back with me. You know, this whole fire with sticks thing, it's not as easy as it may look on the Discovery Channel. I mean, you look at people, you know, well, like everybody's familiar with Les Stroud, for example. You know, this guy, even on one of his episodes, he shows you that he spent, I think it was 8 or 9 hours trying to get a Bowdrill fire. And that was with the materials that he knew would work. It's not nearly as easy as it seems. You know, in the video he shows 8 hours, but you don't experience the amount of energy he put into that in 8 hours or 9 hours or whatever it was. There's a lot of energy that goes into that, and if you're in a hot weather environment, man, that is just compounded. You know, and then you have issues like I have where your sweat's constantly dripping into the socket, dripping on the fireboard, dripping on the spindle. You know, I had an ember at one point and my sweat dripped on the little pile of dust and soaked into the ember and killed it. So it's really something that has to be practiced before you need it. And even when you need it, you'll be lucky if you end up in a situation where it'll actually work. You know, here in the South, I carry a ferro rod every time I go out in the woods. Now, I do use also flint and steel with char cloth, but I always have a humongous ferro rod for backup, because you never know when you'll end up in a situation where everything is just wet. And 9 times out of 10, if you're going to get stuck in a bad situation, it's probably going to be when everything is at, you know, its worst possible. You know, for example, out here, look at hurricanes and tornadoes and all that. Most of the natural disasters that happen out here are due to weather. And 9 times out of 10, that weather is going to contain a lot of rain. So, good luck with your Bowdrill right after it's rained. You know, there are some folks that can do it, and I really admire those folks. But, you know, for the average guy that doesn't practice every day, it's going to be a little bit tougher than it looks on Discovery Channel. Not to say that I don't enjoy those shows. Well, I liked Dual Survival when Dave Canterbury was still on it, and I do like Les Stroud as well. I know there's differing opinions on all these survival shows, but those just happen to be my 2 favorites. Now that being said, I do keep up on a lot of survival techniques, but I wouldn't call myself a survivalist or anything like that. I just, like I've said in one of my other videos, I just camp. That's all I do. I go out, I might try a hand drill or a bow drill or flint and steel. Ferro rod to me is not much of a challenge anymore, but you know, in a very bad situation, it probably still would be a challenge. You might be hurt or sick or all of the above. But I still just enjoy goofing off with those things, and I try not to take them too seriously. I will agree with Les Stroud on one thing, though. There is a certain enjoyment with being out in the wilderness. I mean, there's a construction going on just over the weeds from me, and it irritates the living crap out of me, I'm not gonna lie. But just sitting out here and having a little breakfast definitely makes the rest of the day just a little easier to cope with. Oh well, good times, good times. Wind blowing into my it's gonna hurt anything. Just get a little bit hot. I might drop that simmer ring on there. Last thing I want is oatmeal, of all things, turning into glue in this pot. There we go. Take it down a notch. Well, the mosquitoes don't seem to be killing me as much right now. You know, mosquitoes are one of those things where I used to let them stop me from doing all kinds of things. And then the day I decided that they could just go ahead and bite, fill up, and go on their way, decided I don't care about them anymore. You know, the second I did that, they just seemed to stop bothering me. I don't understand. I guess it's just, maybe some of those folks are right that say, you know, your mind is everything. Man, as soon as I gave up on mosquitoes and just decided to do what I wanted to do, they just all of a sudden left. And I'm okay with that. I wish them well. Go get somebody else. Go get the people that are destroying everything we love. Go get those people. Alright, that's good enough. It's just oatmeal. Put a little coffee on, what'd you say? I wanted to show you this coffee as well. You can get this at most Asian markets. I don't know if you can see it very well. Anyway, it's called Vina Cafe, I believe. But it's Vietnamese instant coffee mix. And this stuff is really good. Most Asian stores have it. If you go to like a Asian food supply type store, they normally have it. You know what, I'm going to heat the water up first. That way that powder doesn't burn to the bottom. I'll get back with you in a minute. All right, got some coffee going here. All right, that's plenty hot. Oh, I better turn off the music. I don't have permission to use that. Okay. If you're curious as to what that was Les Stroud Well, I was thinking about Survivor Man. I was like, oh yeah, he's got some music. So I put on, ironically, with the construction going on next door, Big Yellow Taxi. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but it's pretty good if you go and go and take a listen if you get the chance. Well, does it get a whole lot better than this? Yeah, probably so. But for me, not by much. Gosh, you know, if I could just have a float plane and a little lake somewhere with a cabin, if my family would be happy with that, gosh, I could do that for the rest of my life. But that's asking a lot. I think, hell, if I could just be up in the Northwoods somewhere, I'd be pretty happy with that. Or even, you know, just the Northwoods of my state would be good enough for me. That's one of my favorite places to camp. Um, a little further out in the woods where I don't have to listen to all this going on next door. Put a little blues on and enjoy the breeze. Oh, that's good. All right, I'm gonna spare you the disgust of watching me eat and drink. Nobody likes a whole lot of smacking and all that. I don't like it anyway, much less watch it on YouTube. So I will catch you later. I hope you all have a great day. Get out in the woods somewhere. Enjoy the breeze. Later.